Hey everyone, so I'm going to talk about yellow Base Machinedramon. So technically it is yellow base, but I created this deck list. I have theorized it for a few weeks, maybe a month and a half. But I came up with the idea a while ago. The idea is to go into Ragnaloardmon, so you want some DNA end of turn. The end of turn you can DNA Digivolve inheritable. And surprisingly, I came to the solution that the best way to get that inheritable is by going with a yellow base, and you will be kind of astounded when you see the deck list, but it kind of makes sense. So let's pull it up. So here is the deck list for yellow base Machinedramon that I am working on. So basically, yellow base, why am I using yellow base? Because Armadillomon Digivolves from yellow or from black, level 2. Hawkmon Digivolves from yellow or black, level 2. So the more that I think about it, you could go with a black base if you want. So the better rookie of the two is Armadillomon compared to Hawkmon, because Armadillomon is black. If your egg is yellow, so you can come into some problems when you're starting out. For example, if you have the Viximon yellow egg and you do not yet have Armadillomon, that means that you don't have any black sources on field or in raising. So turn 1, you cannot Supreme Connection. So, that is a con to using yellow base, because you can't Supreme Connection on turn 1 unless you first Digivolve into Armadillomon. So you could use black base. The difference is pretty negligible. If you want to go for black base, you just use a different black rookie instead of Hawkmon. But if you do want to go with yellow base, you can use the 2 extra copies of Hawkmon. So just in case, you do get the Hawkmon instead of the Armadillomon, you can still Digivolve into the Hawkmon. So basically, these are the rookies that have the end of turn. This Digimon and another of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card in your hand. So the ultimate goal of this deck is to get those inheritables. Since your only rookies of the deck have those inheritables, if you build up a stack in raising, build it up to level 6, and then you play out, even if you just play out another level 6, they can DNA into Ragnaloardmon, which is pretty strong. So let's go over the deck. First, I would like to say that Kyoshiro is not necessary for the deck. Personally, I just think that the idea of using Kaiser Nail is going to be really fun. So I just want to incorporate a blue source in the deck so that I can pull off a Kaiser Nail. Of course, this isn't the main win con of the deck. I just want to throw it in for fun. So if you do not want to use Kyoshiro, because you don't really care about using Kaiser Nail, this is a fun tech choice for me. But if you do not want to use Kaiser Nail, you can free up 2 deck slots. Maybe add in a 7th copy of a rookie, add in a 6th copy of a champion to make the deck, more easy to get to level 6 in raising. But I will also explain why you don't really need too many rookies and too many champions in the deck. So without further ado, let's go through the deck profile video. So I will also upload a behind the scenes video in the coming future. So basically it's just me building this deck. You can see me in live action as I'm going through the process of building the deck. But anyways, let's go through the deck profile video. Viximon. So I wanted a yellow egg because I'm going with the Armadillomon Hawkmon strategy, and they both Digivolve from yellow. Armadillomon from yellow and black, Hawkmon from yellow and red. So the common color that they share from Digivolving, they have to really Digivolve from a yellow egg. So since I'm running both, I'm using Viximon. Viximon is the best yellow egg that I think is available for me. So your turn, once per turn, when you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, draw 1. So this is relevant because you will love to use Supreme Connection a lot of the time. Basically, if you have Supreme Connection, like any time in the game, you can use it early game, mid game, even late game. This is a really good card. You can also, draw from Kaiser Nail. So suppose you later use Kaiser Nail to bring out a level 6 from your stack. So then you can then DNA Digivolve into Ragnaloardmon. From using a 4-cost option, which is, an option 2 cost or more, you'll get the draw 1. So Viximon, probably the best yellow egg in the deck. There are other yellow eggs, but, their effects are not relevant. Some of them are Suspend Yellow Tamer, Suspend Red Tamer, if you have 5 or more security cards when attacking, draw 1, etc. But, Viximon seems the best general use yellow egg for the deck. Armadillomon. So on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 black or yellow card with 2 or more colors and 1 tamer card with Kodihida and same among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. So really, I don't rely on the on-play effect of this card. Even just digivolving and raising, that's really the goal of mine. So basically, I just want to Evo on top of Viximon. And then once I get a stack of a level 5 or a level 6 that I feel comfortable pushing out, then, this has the inheritable. So when I get another level 6 onto the field, I can just DNA Digivolve them into Ragnaloardmon, and it is surprising how big your stack can get with this deck, which really helps with Ragnaloardmon. But basically, I'm using 4 Armadillomons, 2 Hawkmons. Armadillomons are more preferred because you are playing dual-colored cards that are black, but they might not necessarily be dual-color red. For example, the Rapidmon and the Metal Tyrannomon. So, even in terms of the on-play, Armadillomon's on-play is better than Hawkmon's on-play because Armadillomon can search for slightly more cards than Hawkmon can when you play it. But also, again, because Armadillomon is a black Digimon. So, turn 1, if you have an Armadillomon in hand, you can Digivolve over Viximon, and you don't need Analog Man on the field to be able to use Supreme Connection. So, Supreme Connection is just a really good card for the deck. So, it just makes sense that between Armadillomon and Hawkmon, you would like to max out your playset of Armadillomon first before adding in additional copies of Hawkmon. So between the two of them, I'm choosing to run 6, Armadillomon at 4, Hawkmon at 2. If you want to play 7 or even 8 copies, just add on additional Hawkmons. But, you don't really need a high rookie count, and I will explain as we go through the deck profile video. But basically, you don't really have too much trashing effects to get your Cyborgs into the trash early. The only things that can really get these Cyborgs into the trash early are Supreme Connection and Analog Man. So you want to set up Analog Man early, and you want to use Supreme Connection very often and very early. So if you add more rookies to the deck and you add more champions to the deck, then yes, you will be able to advance to a level 5 or even a level 6 very quickly. But that doesn't really help you because once you advance to level 5 or level 6, if you don't have many level 5 cyborgs in trash, then you can advance very quickly up in raising, but you're limited by the amount of cyborgs that you have in trash. So you don't really need to speedily go up to level 5 or level 6 in raising. You can take your time digivolving and raising up to it, but Analog Man and Supreme Connection are the very high priority cards that you want to play very early and very quickly. Hopefully that makes sense, but basically what I said is the rookie count is low, the champion count is low, because you aren't prioritizing going up to a level 5 or even a level 6 in raising. You're prioritizing Analogman and Supreme Connection, so you can basically just take your time to build in raising as you get more cyborgs in trash anyways. The Hawkmon, basically a similar effect to the Armadillomon on play. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 red or yellow card with 2 or more colors, and 1 tamer card with Yole Inoue and its name among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. So again, a bunch of your level 5 cyborgs are dual color red. So you have the Melogramon, you have the Megadramon. Actually, no, that's it. You only have 3 copies of dual color red cards in terms of level 5. But of course, you have the Chaosmon, Chaosmon X, Ragnaloardmon, Cyclonemon. So, there are some targets, but less targets than Armadillomon, because Armadillomon, in addition to those targets, can also search for the Rapidmon and Meltyrannomon. So it just makes sense. Armadillomon being black, if you Evo over Viximon, you can use Supreme Connection very early. Even if you play Armadillomon from hand, you can find slightly more targets than playing Hawkmon from hand. So it just makes sense for Armadillomon to Hawkmon. You could run more rookies, but again, I don't think that you have the need to. Greymon from BT8. So this I just really like, because while you have a red Digimon in play, this Digimon gains blocker. So, it could come up. It could come up, but, realistically you have the Analogman, so you don't really need the blocker inheritable. But the blocker inheritable is nice compared to the Cyclonemon inheritable, which I will get to in a second. So 5 play costs, Digivolves 2 from black, Digivolves 2 from Hawkmon. So I chose this champion specifically because it can Evo on top of Armadillomon or Hawkmon. So the Cyclonemon, in my opinion, you don't really need this inheritable as much as the blocker, which is, not saying much, because you don't really need the blocker inheritable anyways. But just between the two of them, blocker is a better inheritable than this inheritable. Not saying that this inheritable is bad, but compared to the rest of the deck, there are other instances of the inheritable, so you don't really need this inheritable. So 5 play costs, same as the Greymon. Digivolves are 2 from level 3 red, Digivolves 2 from level 3 black. So, same thing. You can Evo over Armadillomon or Hawkmon for 2 cost. When attacking inheritable, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 2000 DP or less. So there are some other deletion inheritables on your level 5s. So, you don't really need this when attacking delete a 2000 DP or less opponent's Digimon. So, it's still nice, but between both inheritables, blocker is more preferred, but you don't even need blocker because of the Analogman. So the strategy that I'm going for is you build up in the back, but you shouldn't really focus on building up. So it's kind of more like a passive thing that happens as you play the game out. So this explains the low rookie count, the low champion count. The main goal of the deck is to hard play Machinedramon. So 12 play costs. You can Digivolve, and I will get over that in a second. 12 play cost. Digivolve 3 from level 5 black. Digivolve 3 from level 5 red. On play, you may place up to 5 level 5 red and or black cards of Cyborg and their traits, and different card numbers from your hand and or trash in this Digimon's Digivolution cards to gain 1 memory for each card placed. All turns, this Digimon's DP can't be reduced. All turns, when this Digimon would be deleted, you may trash 2 level 5 Digimon cards, and this Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent this Digimon from being deleted. So, basically, if you play this for 12 memory, you can place 5 level 5 red or black cyborgs under it, and then gain back 5 memory. So this comes in for a net 7 memory with some pretty good inheritables. Chaosmon, I'm playing 3 copies of the EX3 Chaosmon, so this is a backup win con. Well, actually no, I wouldn't say backup win con, but I will explain why I'm playing 3. So you can Digivolve for 4 off of a level 5 for 4 or a red, or a level 5 black for 4. So on play or when Digivolving, you may place up to 3 red or black level 5 cards with Cyborg in their traits and different card numbers from your hand or trash under this Digimon as its bomb Digivolution cards to de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon for each card placed with this effect. So what's nice about this is like a backup EX1 Machinedramon. So EX1 Machinedramon, you really want to hard play this, and then you can tuck 5 level 5 red or black Cyborgs from hand or trash under it, gain backup memory for each. This, you could Digivolve into it, get the effect, or you could play it from hand and then get the effect. Most likely, you will not have to hard play this to get the effect, because you're playing 4 of the EX1 Machinedramons, so chances are very high that you will have a Machinedramon handily available once you are ready to play one. But you could play this if you do not have a Machinedramon, and this also works with Kaiser Nail for the on-play effect. All turns, when this Digimon would be deleted or returned to the hand or deck, you may trash 2 level 5 cards in this Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent it from leaving play. What's nice is that this Digivolves 1 from Machinedramon, which also can help you set up a combo into Ragnaloardmon. Chaosmon X Antibody. Digivolves from level 5 black for 5. Digivolves from level 5 black for red for 5. 13 play costs. Start of your main phase, place 1 Digimon card with a Cyborg or machine trait from your trash as the bottom Digivolution card of this Digimon. So what's nice about this is that you can also place a Machinedramon from trash under it, or a Chaosmon from trash under it. Most of the time you will not really need to, but you could if you want to set up a Kaiser Nail and under some extreme circumstance you don't have a Machinedramon or Chaosmon under it. I'm not saying that's the best outcome. It's not really likely to happen. But if you have a level 5 stack and you do not have a Machinedramon or Chaosmon, you can just Digivolve right onto the level 5 stack for 5. And then start of your main phase next turn, tuck a Machinedramon or Chaosmon under it. And then Kaiser Nail to get the Ragnaloardmon combo. Which, I don't think that it would happen. But that is something they can do in a very extreme backup case. But this evos from Machinedramon or Chaosmon for 2. So the ideal stack, Viximon level 2, then one of your level 3 rookies. So that's 2 cards in the stack. Then into a level 4, so that's 3 cards in the stack. Then into a level 5. Then into your choice of Machinedramon or Chaosmon, really. So let's say that you go into Machinedramon. So that is a stack of 5 cards. Level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. So the Machinedramon is the 5th card in the stack. Then next turn, you push Machinedramon out and then Digivolve into Chaosmon for 1. So that's a stack of 6. When Digivolving effect, place 3 Cyborgs from hand or trash under it. So that becomes a stack of 9 now. And then you Digivolve for 2 into Chaosmon X. So that is a stack of 10. And then because it gains the 1 Digivolve of the Chaosmon, because it gains all the effects of Machinedramons and Chaosmons under it, it's a stack of 10, but then you place 3 more Cyborgs under it, so it's now a stack of 13. So 1 top card, 12 Digivolution sources, which is nice and pretty easy to pull off, I want to say. So if you have Machinedramon in the back, and then you push out on your next turn, going into Chaosmon is just 1 memory. Going to Chaosmon X is just 2 memory. So, it's pretty easy to set up. So for 3 memory on that turn, you can go push Machinedramon out, and now you have a stack of 13 cards. Then, you can attack with that because you pushed it out of raising. And then if you have the Kiyoshiro and Kaiser Nail, you can play out Machinedramon from Chaosmon X Antibody. If you do that, then that is now a stack of 12. The Machinedramon comes out and then grabs 5 Cyborgs, becoming another separate stack of 6. Kaisernail costs 4 memory. Machinedramon will gain you 5 memory, so you get a +1 net memory if you do this combo. If you combo that with Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, that Machinedramon that you played using Kaisernail can also attack in the same turn. If you have another separate Machinedramon or Chaosmon from hand, you can also hard play that if you want to have a third stack attacking for turn in that turn with Rush and Blitz. Even if you don't, retain memory on your side, it has Rush and Blitz. So the Chaosmon can get 1 attack in. Chaosmon X, I mean. Machinedramon can get 1 attack in, and then a separate Machinedramon or Chaosmon in your hand can get a 3rd attack in. Now, end of turn inheritable from Armadillomon or Hawkmon, which is under the Chaosmon X. Bear in mind that this is a stack of 12. This is a stack of 6. You DNA Digivolve them into Ragnaloardmon. So it is 12 and 6, so 18 sources. So you can delete 4 of your opponent's Digimon with play cost of 20 or less, so basically all Digimon. So any Digimon. So you can delete any 4 of your opponent's Digimon with play cost 20 or less, and then attack with Blitz, and then because you DNA Digivolved, you already trashed 4 cards from their security stack, so you can just basically go for lethal. So this is a possible OTK deck. So you could OTK your opponent with this deck. But you don't have to, and I will explain because of the Cyborgs I chose in this deck. So I'm choosing 2 Ragnaloardmons because of the combo that I mentioned. So Ragnaloardmon, very nice. I already went over the when Digivolving effect. All turns when a card is removed from a player's security stack, unsuspend this Digimon. So, you don't really need the unsuspend. You will just go for game anyways. I suppose... Yeah, you don't really need that unsuspending. But let's go over the Kyoshiro. Start of your turn. If you have 2 memory or less, set your memory to 3. Your turn when you attack with a Digimon that has Jellymon in its name or is level 5 or higher. If you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, you may suspend this tamer to draw 1, which is a pretty nice effect. The drawing can come up. Really, I'm using Kyoshiro because this is the best generic blue memory setter that we have. So this card doesn't really care if your Digimon is not blue. As long as it's level 5 or higher and attacking, then you can draw 1. If you have 7 cards or less in hand. So, it's still better than other blue memory setters because at least you can do something for it in this deck. So even if you don't think about needing the draw, you could end up needing the draw. But even if you don't think about it, at least it has an effect that is at least relevant for a deck that's not blue. But really, I want to use Kyoshiro so that I can play Kaisernail because I think that's pretty fun to play out a level 6 from your level 6 stack, and then DNA Digivolve into Ragnaloardmon. So suppose you pass memory. That is okay. End of turn DNA Digivolve, and then attack. And then go into Ragnaloardmon and then attack. But it has some fun synergies with Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, and also fun synergies with the EX1 Machinedramon. I already mentioned the synergy with EX1 Machinedramon. You play it for 4, you gain back 5, so you don't really lose memory from playing Kaisernail. You just, in the opposite effect, you gain 1 memory. But it also has fun synergies with Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. I did mention it before when I was talking about a possible combo that you can pull, but basically Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon For 0 cost, you may trash 1 card of Cyborg or Machine and traits in your hand to have all of your level 6 Digimon with Machine and their traits gain Rush. And on play, if this Digimon has a Digivolution card, Blitz for the turn. So, most people, when they use Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, they will play the level 6 from hand. And, you can do that in this deck as well. However, this also works even if you play a Machinedramon or Chaosmon from sources. So suppose you have a Chaosmon X, you use Kaiser Nail to play out a Machinedramon. So you use 4 memory to use Kaiser Nail, you play out Machinedramon, you gain 5 memory, so it's basically like a Hammer Spark and a free Digimon. But you can also give it Rush and Blitz with Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. The Blitz, not really necessary, because it will still be your turn. Because you get 1 memory back, so there's just no way that's going to pass, unless your opponent has a memory blocker, in which case it does have Blitz on play, but basically, even if you play it from sources, it can attack. And then, after doing that, if you have another level 6 in hand, you can hard play that thing, and then attack with that thing too. So, from a stack, like 1 stack in Raising, you can push that stack out, go into Chaosmon X, get 1 attack in, Kaiser Nail out Machinedramon, Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, Machinedramon can attack to get another attack in. You can hard play a level 6 from hand, attack, get another attack in, if you wanted to. End of turn effect, of course, DNA into Ragnaloardmon to finish it off if, you have lethal, and most likely you will have lethal at that point. The third attack isn't even really necessary, honestly, but it is something that you could do just in case you have a reason to. But even if you don't attack with 3 separate level 6 stacks in a turn, even just attacking with the level 6 stack and then DNA Digivolving into Ragnaloardmon will most likely give you lethal anyways. Because you get 1 attack already, DNA into Ragnaloardmon, delete 4 of their Digimon, trash 4 of their security, get the final attack for game. For Analog Mans, so Analog Man and Supreme Connection, very important for the deck. I'm not playing the traditional black build, so I'm not playing Dramon, I'm not playing Raremon, I'm not playing Hagurumon, so I'm not really discarding from my hand with my Digimon cards. I mainly have to rely on Analog Man and Supreme Connection to discard Cyborgs into the trash. So it is very important to me that they are readily available. So I know that in this format, Analog Man, you don't really see more than 3 copies of Analog Man in a deck. For my list, I'm playing 4 just because I'm not able to discard using my Digimon effects. I have to rely on Analog Man and Supreme Connection to build up my trash. So 4 play costs, start of your main phase by trashing 1 level 5 card with Cyborg and its traits in your hand, gain 1 memory, and draw 1. Opponent's turn effect. When an opponent's Digimon attacks the player by suspending this tamer, switch the target of attack to one of your level 6 Digimon with Machine and its traits. So this gives you a pseudo blocker, just in case you do not have this Greymon. So suppose you hard play Machinedramon from hand, which, is very likely to happen. You don't have to rely on building a stack and raising and pushing out. You can, of course, hard play Machinedramon from hand. You can hard play Chaosmon from hand, which is really good this format because of Supreme Connection. But suppose you don't have blocker as an inheritable, that is a-okay, because if you have Analog Man, you can just redirect into your level 6. Supreme Connection, very good card, very important that you play 4 copies of this. Basically, if you're playing Machinedramon, then you should play 4 copies of Supreme Connection. It is so good. So 3 cost, main effect, reveal top 5 cards of your deck. Among them, add one card of the machine or cyborg trait to the hand and trash one such card. So this is really relevant because this is why you want to use this very early, very repeatedly, so you can get the level 5 cards into your trash. Return the rest to the top of the deck. Then place this card in the battle area. So this is nice. You don't return cards to the bottom of the deck. So after you grab a machine or cyborg to your hand and then trash a machine or cyborg, then you just return the rest, so the 3 other cards, to the top of the deck in any order. So it's nice because, if you reveal Kiyoshiro, Kiyoshiro will be top decked, so, you don't lose out on having a blue source for Kaisernail, or you can reveal Kaisernail, or you can reveal a Ragnaloardmon. These cards are not machines, nor are they cyborgs, but if you reveal them, you can top deck them, so you can draw them later. So this costs 3. This option costs 3. But main delay, you may play a 1 level 5 or higher Digimon card with a machine or cyborg trait from your hand with the play cost reduced by 3. So it costs 3 when you use it, and then later you can just play out a level 5 or higher for 3 less costs. So that's just, good value. Security, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. So basically the security effect is the same as the main effect. And you also place in the battle area. So it's like the exact same as if you were to play this, as if you were to use this option from hand. But basically, the secondary or even tertiary or, backup win con of the deck is to Evo in the back into a level 6. Push out the level 6, go into either Chaosmon or Chaosmon X, and then Kaisernail, if you want to. You don't even need Kaisernail, but Kaisernail to play out the other level 6, attack the heavy mobile Digimon if you want to get that extra attack in, and then swing. If you have another level 6, you can play that too from hand, but you don't really need to. But then you can end of turn DNA into Ragnaloardmon, swing for lethal. So Kaisernail, again, at the beginning of the video, I said that it wasn't really necessary. The reason that's not necessary is that, Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon exists, and Supreme Connection also exists. So you could Kaisernail to play out a level 6 from sources, but you can just hard play the level 6 from hand anyways. If you have Supreme Connection on the field, you can reduce the play cost by 3. So suppose you only have a level 6 stack out. You get 1 attack in, get rid of one of your opponent's security, and then you can just hard play the other level 6 from hand. After hard playing the other level 6 from hand, if you have Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon active, that level 6 can attack, and then end of turn you can Ragnaloardmon and then swing for game. So Kaisernail, it's fun if it comes up, but you don't really rely on it. If it is hit in security, that's also pretty fun, because you can play a level 6 from your sources, and then activate that on-play effect. Notice how this Machinedramon and this Chaosmon both have on-play effects, so they are good for the Kaisernail synergy. So let's get into the actual cyborgs of the deck. So I'm playing 14 cyborgs, which is kind of on the smaller end. I've seen decks run 15 cyborgs plus -1. So, 14, 15, or 16 cyborgs. I'm playing 14 cyborgs. So let's go over the level 5s. 2 Metal Greymons. So honestly, you don't really care about the when Digivolve effect of any of these cyborgs. Because if you are going to Digivolve into them, you will safely Digivolve into them in raising in the back. So these when Digivolves do not matter. But the inheritables, I will go over the inheritables for the cards that I do not plan on Digivolving in the battle area. But 2 Malgreymons, this inheritable is just really good. Your turn, when this Digimon has Dragonkin or Machine in its traits, it can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So I'm playing a more passive build, which is a-okay because this build can also OTK. So I don't really need security attack plus 1 inheritables. I don't really need piercing. So, the plan ultimately is to go into Ragnaloardmon if I need to, or even if I want to. So I don't really need piercing, don't really need security attack plus 1 because this deck can just easily OTK as is. But this inheritable is good because I can attack into unsuspended Digimon and then, keep control of the board state. This combos very well with Rapidmon and Tyrannomon. So these cards are basically the way that I can get safe chip damage in and not activate my opponent's security cards. So Rapidmon, all turns. Once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, trash the top card of their security stack. Tyrannomon, the exact same inheritable. So basically, if I have Rapidmon or Tyrannomon under my level 6 stack, I have Greymon under my level 6 stack, I can swing into my opponent's Digimon. Even without piercing, without security attack plus 1, I can just trash top of their security. Which arguably, I think is even better than piercing and security attack plus 1. Because this way, I do not activate their security effects. Unless they are cards like Odin's Breath, Kari Kamiya from BT15. But, if I just attack into their Digimon, trash 1 security card, maybe 2 security cards, if I have both of them under. But that is a pretty safe way to play the deck, which, I think is better for my playstyle. So they do both have on-plays, so their on-plays are kind of relevant. On-play, when Digivolving, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if you have a green tamer, this Digimon can't be delayed by your opponent's effects and can't be returned to the hand or deck until the end of your opponent's turn. So you can play this for 7, or you can play this for 4 using Supreme Connection. So Supreme Connection comboed with Rapidmon is a 4-cost level 5 that will de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So the Tyrannomon is 8 costs to play. On play, for each green or black tamer you have in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's suspended Digimon can't unsuspend until your opponent's next unsuspend phase. So this card is just can't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. So this card is also really good, especially considering that I'm playing 4 analog mans. So if you play this, you can have at most 4 black tamers. So you can have 4 black tamers, suspend up to 4 of your opponent's Digimon. Even if you don't suspend a Digimon with this effect, you can target a suspended Digimon already. And then that Digimon cannot unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase, which is pretty nice. So you could play this for 8, or you could play this for 5 using Supreme Connection. So let's go over the other on-plays of the deck while I am at it. I'm playing 4 Gigadramon for Megadramon. So again, I don't really care about the piercing and security attack inheritables that other decks may use. So there is redundancy in my list because instead of having those inheritables, I am instead choosing to repeat the inheritables I really like. So, the Rapidmon, the Tyrannomon inheritables is really good. I want to repeat them, but it just makes sense to just use 2 different card IDs anyways, since they have the same inheritable. But for Gigadramon, Reboot, Reboot is just a really nice inheritable to have. It will give you some extra layer of protection in case your opponent has a Digimon. If you Reboot, then it'll be harder for them to swing into your Digimon. But I chose 2 Gigadramons and 2 Megadramons because they can on-play. So in case I do want to play out my level 5s from hand, they are really good choices to play. Gigadramon for 6 play costs on play. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 2 level 6 or higher cards among them to the hand. Return the rest of the bottom of the deck. So if you don't have a Machinedramon or Chaosmon X in hand, you could just on play this Gigadramon for 6 And then hopefully you can find them from the top 4 cards of your deck. So, this is a pretty nice effect, honestly. For even 6 cost for level 5, that's pretty good value. If you want to use Supreme Connection, then this Gigadramon this will cost only 3 memory. So, this is pretty good. The end of turn effect is optional, so you really do not need to trigger it. You could trigger it if you wanted to combo with Chaosmon. Actually, no. Let me think. Actually, yes. So, since Chaosmon's effect is an interruptive, when the Digimon would be delayed, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, you could combo with the Gigadramon. So, end of turn, you will attempt to delete the Chaosmon X. Chaosmon X will interrupt this effect. It will trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. And then, of course, the inheritables from Machinedramon and Chaosmon, you can trash 2 level 5s from sources to prevent it from leaving play. So you can, combo this with Chaosmon X if you want to, but most likely you will not need to. You don't really care that, you whiff on this effect because you aren't playing any Dark Masters trait cards in your deck. But, if you wanted to, you can target Chaosmon X with this just to trash a card from top of your opponent's security stack. I am pretty positive in that ruling. So 7 play costs on play when digivolving. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Among them, place 1 Machine, Cyborg, or Sons of Chaos trait card as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, and add 1 such card to the hand. Trash the rest. So this is nice. It is a little bit risky because you are playing the rookies, the champions, Kyoshiro, Kaiser Nail, Analogman, Supreme Connection, Attack the Heavy Mobile Digimon. These are the cards that and Ragnaloardmon. So these are the cards that if you reveal them, they will have to be trashed because you can't grab them to the hand. You can't place them under this Digimon. They just have to go to the trash. So it is a little bit risky to use Megadramon. But, if you are in this position to play Megadramon from hand, the risk is pretty negligible because the benefit that you get from playing Megadramon is better. It just outweighs the risk of just losing an Analogman to trash, your options to trash, or Kyoshiro or Ragnaloardmon to trash. But, this is also a pretty good card to on-play if you need to. I would argue that Gigadramon for most instances is better. You get a deeper search in, and you don't have to trash a card. But arguably, Megadramon, if you are in a position where you just want to fill Cyborgs in your trash, you can just play this and then fill the trash with 1 Cyborg card and then tuck 1 Cyborg or Machine under this. Metal Greymon, just a pretty good card. This Digimon gets plus 3000 DP during your turn. So I'm not planning on attacking my opponent's security. The way that I'm playing this deck, I don't really need to attack and then check their security cards, but having the extra DP buff is still useful for me to swing over my opponent's Digimon using Metal Greymon. So Machinedramon 11,000 DP, Chaosmon 12,000 DP, Chaosmon X 13,000 DP. They're kind of on the weak side. So even just giving them 3,000 extra DP is useful for me to be able to swing over my opponent's Digimon. Same thing for the Megadramon. Your turn, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP. So just having those extra buffs will help me to swing into my opponent's Digimon safely. And then from the inheritables of Meltyrannomon and Rapidmon, trash the top card of their security stack. Gigadramon, opponent's turn, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP. So this just adds an extra layer of defense on your opponent's turn. Megadramon, just a really good card. When attacking, if this oh, I forgot to go over this. When attacking once per turn, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. This is a really good inheritable. This is also another reason why I'm playing 2 copies of this card. So if you swing into your opponent's level 6 or even level 7, you can de-digivolve it to hopefully give it weaker DP. Most of the time, like 99% of the time, a lower level Digimon will have less DP than the higher level Digimon. So you can just de-digivolve that Digimon, and then, by extension, you'll have a weaker target that you are attacking into. Or you can just de-digivolve just to get rid of problematic effects that Digimon has. But it also combos very well with Megadramon and Metalmomimon inheritables. When attacking, if this Digimon has Machine or Dragonkin in its traits, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers with a play cost of 3 or less. So if you attack, de-digivolve one of your opponent's level 4s into a level 3 Digimon, most likely they will have 3 play costs or less, and then Megadramon's inheritable will delete that Digimon. Metalmomimon has a similar inheritable. When attacking, if this Digimon has Machine in its traits, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost of 5 or less. So now you can even delete some champion Digimon. So if you attack, they have a level 5, de-digivolve the level 5, then delete their champion. So these are inheritables that, can come up. Do bear in mind that if they are delayed by effect, you will not get the inheritables off of Rapidmon and from Ragnaloardmon. But if they have several Digimon in play, suppose you're playing against a Rookie Rush deck, or something that spams out free Digimon like Bloomlord, you can attack into one Digimon, get rid of a different Digimon. So, this can help you to get rid of big threats by de-digivolving first and then getting rid of them. Or this can help you by just getting rid of multiple Digimon in one attack. There is another Cyborg that you can replace. It had a different when attacking effect. Let me see if I can find it. I could be wrong. I might have remembered wrong. I don't even see it. Oh, okay. So you could use the Megadramon from BT14. So when attacking, once returned, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. So if you wanted to, you can place this in your deck instead. I just prefer the Metalmomimon over that. So play cost 5 or less. They could potentially have more than 5,000 DP. So this inheritable is worse than this inheritable in that instance. But, you can pick between Megadramon inheritable or from Metalmomimon inheritable. They are roughly similar. Metalmomimon just seems better for the deck. And also because it is a black level 5, you can easily digivolve on top of any of your champions into the Metalmomimon. If you did want to run the Megadramon, it can only digivolve on top of the Cyclonemon. But, I just prefer the Metalmomimon because of the slightly different inheritable that it has, but also because it's a black level 5. So, this is the deck. You can play with Kaiser Nail for fun, but you can just otherwise remove it if you don't want to use Kaiser Nail. And by extension, if you remove Kaiser Nail, you can also remove Kiyoshiro. Kiyoshiro is just nice because I want Kiyoshiro to use Kaiser Nail. But even if you do benefit from the Kiyoshiro your turn draw 1 effect, it's not necessary for the deck. So you can also just replace Kiyoshiro, replace Kaiser Nail. You can increase your rookie ratios, your champion ratios if you want. Some rookies and some champions that I recommend. So, of course, Systemon Blanc. Systemon Blanc is a nice card to use. So, you can use Hagurumon, you can also use Systemon Blanc. specifically the Star deck Chaosmon System Blanc by trashing one card in your hand, draw 2. So this is just an early way to get level 5 Cyborgs into your trash. Of course, you have the Hagurumons, but also the Raremon promo. So Raremon promo, you can play this for 4 on play by trashing one card in your hand, draw 2. But you can also Digivolve this off of your Armadillomons. So Digivolves for 3, which is kind of expensive. Honestly, if you Digivolve this off of Armadillomon, it will still most likely be in Raising. Unless you just decide to play out a Armadillomon from hand to get the on play. But I don't think that Raremon is as necessary in my build, just because I'm Digivolving and Raising most of the time. But again, you can just play this for 4. On play, when Digivolving, trashing one card in hand, draw 2. When attacking by trashing one card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So this is also an alternative inheritable. So, it's still pretty good. When you attack, you can just pitch a level 5 Cyborg, ideally, to your trash to delete a rookie. And then later on, when you need to grab a level 5 from trash, you have that level 5 in trash ready. You can also run Reinforcing Memory Boost. It's weird how that did not come up when I searched it. But you can also run Reinforcing Memory Boost if you want. So suppose early game you do not have the Armadillomon, you don't have the Hawkmon. So you just have this Viximon in the raising area. It's just a yellow source that you can use. So you can just use one Reinforcing Memory Boost for fun. I'm not sure how good it is in actual practice. 6 costs. Main effect, reveal top 2 cards of your deck. Place one of them on top of your security stack face down. Add the remaining card to your hand. Then place this card in the battle area. Main delay, you can gain 3 memory. So it's still a pretty good card. Security effect, place in the owner's battle area. So for 6 costs, reveal top 2 cards. Especially since if you don't have Armadillomon or Hawkmon early game, you are still looking for your pieces. So you can Reinforcing Memory Boost. If you see an Analog Man, then it's good. You can just grab it. I would recommend that you grab the Analog Man. Don't really place that on security, because your opponent seeing the Analog Man will probably not swing early to give you that advantage. But, this will basically be look at top 2 cards of your deck, add one to hand, add one to security, which is still a really good effect. And then later, on a different turn, you can just crack this for 3 memory, which is still really good. But yeah, Reinforcing Memory Boost is a card that you can place in this deck if you want. If you want to, after taking out the Kaiser Nails, you can add in some option removals, like Iron Fisted Onslaught or Ultimate Flare, or basically any black option removal that you want. You can even add in a red option removal because, a good amount of this deck is red. So you could add in Crimson Blaze if you want to. What else? There was something else, I think. If you take out the Kaiser Nails, you could also increase the Cyborg count of your deck. I'm only playing 14, but if you take out the 2 Kaiser Nails, if you wanted to, you can increase the 14 to 15 or 16 Cyborgs. So, you can handle the Kaiser Nail kind of like a flex spot. But basically, I recommend 6 of these end of turn DNA Digivolve inheritable rookies. 5 of these champions. Again, you don't really need high rookie and champion count because it's more like a passive thing that you will build in the back and then push out when you're ready. In the meantime, while you're still setting up, Analog Man and Supreme Connection are godsends for the deck. They will help you to pitch the Cyborgs into your trash. So then by the time that you either push out a level 6 or even a level 5 to go into a level 6 like Chaosmon, or by the time that you will hard play the level 6, you will have a good amount of level 5 Cyborgs in your trash. So basically, Supreme Connection and Analog Man enable you to be able to build up in raising safely, while also still pitching cards to the trash. Machinedramons, just because I want to not rely on having to digivolve. So I did build these inheritables to allow you to digivolve, but you don't have to digivolve to go up to your level 6. Hard playing the Machinedramon from hand, hard playing the Chaosmon from hand, these are things that you can do. So, for Machinedramons, just because I want to be able to grab that Machinedramon, have it ready for when I need it, and then just play it. If comboed with Supreme Connection, this will come in for a net 4 cost. If comboed with Supreme Connection, Chaosmon will come in for a net 9 cost. Chaosmon is admittedly more expensive. Machinedramon, level 6, really good inheritables, 4 costs. That is really good. Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon just enables them to attack for free, or not for free. Attack early as soon as they are played. And if you play them out using Kaiser Nail, you can also use the effect of Attack of Heavy Mobile Digimon. Bear that in mind. Ragnaloardmon, just in case you have 2 level 6s, or even if you have 1 level 6, you just hard play the other level 6 from hand. End of turn effect doesn't matter because your memory passed. End of turn effect, you can DNA Digivolve into Ragnaloardmon for lethal. Most of the time, if you have the Ragnaloardmon in hand, it will be lethal. I'm only playing 2 because I'm still testing the waters of this deck. I like having the 4 Machinedramons. Arguably, you can cut it down to 3 to throw in an extra Ragnaloardmon if you want. I just like the security of having 4 Machinedramons so that I can have it at the ready. So by the time that I have the 5 Cyborgs in trash, I can just play this Machinedramon out right away. Ragnaloardmon is very strong for the deck, but it doesn't have to be your win con. You can just keep chipping away at your opponent, and then, Rapidmon and Meltaramon will give you safe chipping. But, I think that 2 Ragnaloardmon's okay. If you want to, you can also increase to 3 or even 4, especially if you do not want Kaiser Nail. Again, this is like the flex spot of the deck. You can take this out. If you take this out, you can add more rookies if you want, add more champions if you want, add more Ragnaloardmons if you want, or add in more Cyborgs, or even some removal options, or the reinforced memory boost. But Kaiser Nail just feels fun to me, so I'm playing Kaiser Nail. These are for pitching cards into the trash, and the inheritables, I just like these inheritables specifically. And again, I'm not using Piercing and Security Attack +1 inheritables because the goal of mine is not to check their security at all if I can help it. I will just take safe checks, safe security removal by just trashing the top card of their security from Rapidmon and Meltaramon. But basically, this is the deck profile video. I really like this deck. It took me a few days to revise, but it's looking pretty good here. So, admittedly, I do not have 4 copies of Armadillomon, so I will actually play 3 Armadillomon, 3 Hawkmon, which is a detriment to the deck. Just because, again, Armadillomon on play is better than Hawkmon's on play. And also, if I have 1 less black rookie, it will be harder for me to Supreme Connection turn 1. But ideally, you would have 4 Armadillomons, 2 Hawkmons. But yeah, that is the deck profile of the deck. I'm very excited to build this and finish assembling the deck once we get the Star Deck 17 Rapidmon. But, this deck seems really fun to me. But thanks for watching, and I will see y'all later. Leave me any questions in the comments if you have any. But yeah, see y'all later.